Hey guys, Grumpy here with the supplemental video for Zero to Hero. So we're attempting the Alpha Bounty again. This time I gave them an opportunity to heal back up to full strength. So we'll see just how much more difficult the fight is. The fleet that I'm using is the same as last time. The only difference is I was able to find my 10th and final officer. So now all of our capital ships are officered, which is really nice. They're only level 2, I believe, so it shouldn't make a massive amount of difference, but it is, again, just nice to have that officer. Just long term, I plan on refreshing my officers because they're kind of a mixed bag. I like having officers that are kind of uniform, so we'll see. That's a longer term project though. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the fight. I believe the strategy is the same that I did in the campaign, which is, let's bring an onslaught in, which will be to, you know what? I should probably bring in not the automated onslaught, one of the human driven ones. But anyway, it's going to be capture these 4 objectives, deploy whatever we can, and then blow up as many ships as we can. Once the Tesseract appears, then rally the fleet around one objective, blow up the Tesseract, and then we can expand the fleet again. And then if the Radiant shows up before the Tesseract, obviously deal with the Radiant in the same way. We rally the fleet together. That's a little less critical. It's more important that we rally for the Tesseract. Also, I don't know if the Tesseract keeps the same weapons. I don't know if that's just like an RNG thing. But if it does have the same weapons, then that's really good. Because that one wasn't so bad. It was a Rift Torpedo and something, probably like a Cryo Flamer or something. Which isn't difficult to deal with at all. Alright. Let's bring in... Let's bring in a Griffin. Both Griffins. Oh! That's one thing that's important. The Anubis should be leashed to me. It shouldn't be forward. It's probably gonna get blown up. That's a shame. And I'll also leash the Griffins to me. It would be nice to... Oh, no. I really don't want to lose the Anubis early on because that's a huge help to this fight. Please don't die. It's really important that we keep the Anubis. I have really good coverage as far as dealing with missiles because of my moats, but the Anubis supplements that so that it gives me the opportunity to use my moats more aggressively. Let me go ahead and dump Flux. One difference I can feel, and I don't know if it's if it's actually the case or I'm imagining this. But it feels like they have. I'm just gonna blow you up with these. It feels like they have more armor, or sorry, better shields, which would make sense because they do take reduced damage with high CR. All right, let's. Oh. Kind of out of luck there. Yeah, I feel like before I destroyed most ships with a single volley. Oh. I don't think I can save you. Oh, that definitely doesn't help you. We might lose the onslaught, which is okay. That frees up some space for the rest of our... Ooh, you know what? If we can get rid of the... frees up space for the rest of our deployment, but if we can get rid of the Apex, that would be massive. Alright. I'll bring in the Pegasus just to help us deal with some of these smaller ships. But ultimately, we need to bring in a stronger ship. Alright. Yeah, before I feel like I could bully these ships a lot more readily, but... Oh. I noticed it before, after it was too late. Losing a Griffin early sucks because that's a large amount of missiles. I saw it happening out of the corner of my eye, but I just didn't give it enough emphasis. You can't be here. Because you have your own attack laser. Please get away from that. Don't flux. Tesseract's here, so let's cancel these objectives and we'll upgrade this to a rally command and we'll just tell everyone to rally around it, and then we'll reset here. We'll see in a little bit if the Tesseract has the same weapons as last time. Again, I think it had a Rift Torpedo and something else. Alright, that's already dead. This is the most persistent Apex. I'll see if I can't deal with that. Ooh. Yeah, it looks like it's the same Apex, so. Alright. I'm trying to save you. But our Griffin has elected to become a frontline unit. You know, I could probably blow up the Griffin so that I could overload you. Well, not anymore, but that would have been an interesting strategy. Alright, anyway. Let's go ahead and hang out for a second. Well, our Griffin's gone. I don't think our Griffin was out of position. I think what happened was because these ships are so much tougher than they were before, I'm fairly certain that it just got... Basically, we just got pushed in on. Right, like we're getting surrounded and pushed just because, well, here we can deal with this. There's not really a reason. For this to be in the way. So many threats to react to. Okay. I want to deal with the Tesseract, I want to deal with this Lumen, I want to deal with this Brilliant that's approaching me. Actually, the mode should go to the Radiant, and then we can bring in a... You... Just a bit of... Oh, I shouldn't use the antimatter blasters. Just a bit of space, please. Space for a little bit. I'm gonna dump Flux. It's not the best idea, but we need some space. This, I can tell you that this fight is a lot harder. Yeah, I can tell you for sure this fight is a lot harder. Alright. I don't really think there's much we can do here. As soon as we unphase, we're kind of dead. The only hope I have is to sneak behind. Alright, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me. We're gonna get done in by fighters. Alright, that's rough. That does leave some space open for us to bring in... Let's bring in another Pegasus in the Aurora. Yeah, this fight is way harder. Right. we can bring in a conquest. Way harder for sure. The main thing is like we don't have. It's so hard to get rid of ships, unlike before. Let's create a shield for you. I wanted to pull this Brilliant off. That's a good opportunity. I'm flamed out. I was trying to fly backwards to get out of the way, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. What we actually need to do is we need to deal with the all the support ships, really. Alright. I think we got it under control now. Way harder fight, for sure. Doable, definitely, but you can feel the difference. I don't know if we had a bad strategy. I feel like we kind of implemented what we needed to since last, or we kind of did the same thing as last time. It's just a much harder fight is all. I mean, even trying to comment over it while I'm fighting was like, it's just not possible. There was so many threats on the battlefield, so much to deal with. So the biggest difference is, wow, look at all those destroyed ships. The biggest difference is the remnants were able to push us off objectives because their shields were so strong. Last time they took increased damage and they dealt less damage, so they were less of a threat. But this time, having full strength shields meant that they could go, they could be a lot more aggressive, right? To the point where at some points they were physically pushing us off of the objective, and there wasn't really much that we could do about it. So when their ships are stronger, it's not just like a little bit stronger, it's exponential, because each ship that you don't destroy is another ship lending support, right? Like all these Brilliants had Tachyon Lances and Paladin PDs, so if we couldn't destroy the Brilliants, then our missiles and moats were useless. So like that's an example where, you know, even like a 10% better shield could mean, you know, 100%, 200% more damage that they're able to inflict. I'll have to watch it back to see where I made mistakes. I'm sure I made plenty. Again, trying to comment over this while I was fighting was impossible. But we did it. We won. I think compared to the campaign, I don't think we lost this many ships at all. We did lose the Ziggurat in the previous fight, so that's still the same. But yeah, a fun fight. Um, I give it a try, for sure. I don't know if there's a way to skip ahead to Riot Arroyo. What I can do is I can drop this save file into the Discord, and I can also link it as a top comment, so that you can give it a try. This is totally vanilla, so you don't need to worry about any mods. You should just be able to pick it up and go. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Other than that, Grumpy out.